Okay, so I have brought the brine concentrate to a boil just for less than a minute. And then I took it off the heat and let it cool for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I added my raw honey, and now that is all dissolved in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, okay, so this is the concentrate. You're supposed to technically let it completely cool and then add it to the bucket with the turkey and the rest of the water. I always forget about that step and I don't want to wait. So what I do is I let it cool for 5 to 10 minutes, and then I have super cold water that I'll dump in, and this year I'm going to actually dump in some ice to try to bring this temperature down, the temperature of the water down. So I got my bucket, I got my turkey ready. I'm going to dump in some ice. And about a half gallon of water, cold water. And then my brine concentrate. And then my turkey. So, with actually that much, he is almost submerged. I'm going to add a little bit more cold water just to submerge him some more. So that was about, I probably just put in about, that's probably just a little over a gallon of water. So you want to get him as submerged as possible. And then put the lid on. Now, you want to brine him 12 to 24 hours, depending on what day you start him. And then, so you want to keep him cold. So if you have an extra fridge in your garage, in your basement, put it, that you have room, put it in there. A lot of times, the week of Thanksgiving is around 30, 35 degrees. So I will actually just, a lot of times, put him out on my porch, covered well, so nothing can get into it. Or if you have a nice garage that stays cool, put it in there. So.
Or just use lots of ice too.
Or use lots of ice. Yeah, you could have, instead of using water, you could have used all ice. And just, he'll put him in your basement and the ice will slowly thaw. So that's it. So we're going to stick it in the fridge, we have an extra fridge out in the garage that we can stick it in for the next 12 to 24 hours. Alright, so the turkey has been brining for how long I've wanted it to. So we're going to make an herb butter that I've rubbed the turkey down with, and I will show you, and then pop it in the oven, and I will show you how I do that. So I have about, well, it's a little bit more, but about a teaspoon of chopped fresh sage, about a tablespoon of fresh chopped thyme, same amount of fresh chopped chives, some shallots, some garlic, a quarter cup coconut oil, a stick of butter, and some lemon juice. So I'm going to throw it all into my mixer. I normally do it by hand, but I figured my mixer would make it easier. So mix it all up. And then about a teaspoon of crushed or minced or chopped garlic. You could also throw all of this, all the herbs, into a food processor or something like that to very finely mince it if you wanted to. Alright, now that is all mixed up, creamed together. So there it is. Alright, so now I'm going to get my turkey out of the brine. Right into the pan. Alright. I didn't wear the best shirt for today. Pull up your sleeves. Now what I'm going to do is stick my hand underneath the skin, and I'm going to, you don't want to tear the skin off, you just want to be able to work your hand through it. Generally the turkey is very cold, so expect your hands to get really, really cold. Generally I have to take a few minute breaks every once after a couple of minutes because my hands get so cold. So you want to loosen the skin from the meat. Without tearing. My scissors. Also, my turkey is, an 18-pound turkey at the moment. If you're doing up to like a 20-pound bird, I would just do a single batch of this herb butter. Jordan has a big family, so and that's who I cook the turkey for, so I generally am doing close to a 25, 30-pound turkey, and so then I double the butter, the herb butter, because it's just a very, very big bird. Alright, so that is, you want to go around the thighs as much as possible. I guess the skin's a little fragile because it's dripping. And then you want to grab your herb butter and stick it in and rub it all around between the skin and the meat. Get it down by the thighs. And then rub the herb butter over the skin. It's not going to necessarily be a smooth paste across the skin, but it will melt as it's in the oven. And get all over. Alright, so the herb butter is all over it. I'm going to add about a cup of either water or stock to the bottom of the pan.
Stock as in like chicken broth, right?
Chicken broth. Whatever you got on hand.
Turkey broth if you got it.
Yeah. And then cover it up with tin foil. Alright, so I have my oven preheated to 350, so I'm going to cook, it's an 18-pound bird, I'm going to cook this anywhere from, I think, 4 to 5 hours. I will start checking it around 3.5. My 25-pound bird that I did last year only took 4.5 hours. So I'm going to check it, and then about 45 minutes before it's done, I will take the tin foil off so it gets that crispy brown skin. So I will set my timer and then start checking around 3 hours. What I'm looking for is the thickest part of the breast to be about 150, 155. And then we will pull it out and I'll show you what I do after that.
You can just say what you're doing.
Alright, I'm tying the thighs together so that they, just loosely so that they...
It helps keep them from drying out, right?
Yeah, falling, my turkeys, the thighs when they cook, they fall apart, they fall to the side and then they...
This just keeps them together.
And then they dry out. At least the parts that are touching the edge of the pan. This keeps it from doing that. Alright, so the turkey has been done. It's about 3.5 hours, and I checked it, and it's done. One thing is pastured turkeys do have a tendency to cook faster, and if you brine it, the water helps cook it even faster. So I was thinking 4 to 5 hours, but it only took 3.5. As you can see, it wasn't quite as gentle when I rubbed the butter underneath the skin, and so it ripped a little bit. So you got to be a little bit careful, a little bit more careful than I was being. Ouch. Let's see if I can do this.
And it was to get the crispy skin, you took the aluminum foil off.
Yeah, I took the aluminum foil off for about an hour before it was done. I was checking the temperature at about 2 hours. I'll pour out the juice from the inside of the cavity. Get my tongs in there. Alright, so it is done. I will not cut it. I'm going to let it rest for at least an hour. Trust me, it will still be nice and warm. But if you cut it now, all the juices are just going to release. So you want to let it rest for probably about an hour. Even more if you want.
So basically it'll dry out more if you cut it right now.
Yeah, you'll lose all your juices. If I cut it right now, all the juices would just go out onto my cutting board. And so you want to let it rest. And so those juices they'll like reabsorb. So I let it rest for about an hour. And then you can cut it after that and serve it. Do not throw this stuff away. It makes amazing gravy because you had all those good herbs. And the turkey, it makes very flavorful gravy. So I will cool this down and use it to make gravy.
Alright. So what temperature did you cook the turkey to?
The thigh, I had about, at the thickest part, without hitting the bone, about 160. And then the breast, I go by the breast temperature more. The thickest part of the breast, without hitting the bone, about 150, 155. And as you rest it for an hour, it will still keep cooking.
Yes.
And that will end up you're not gonna dry out breast, so your breast. You'll have nice juicy breast, and your thighs will be cooked about at that temperature. That hour of resting will also help finish cooking any little bit that isn't cooked.
Very good. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching this. Hope that helps you all, and we'll wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and may you enjoy good food with your family and friends.